So, Paul the Tech Giant decided to crash last night's live stream. We were having fun, we were answering questions, we were doing our thing, and, he decided to stop by and, share a few things. So, we're gonna talk about it. Let's go. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Before anyone starts watching this video, initially I had no issue with Paul the Tech Giant. In fact, I've actually given him shoutouts before on multiple occasions, multiple live streams. There was a video about AV guys I trust, and Paul was on that list. And he embarrassed me, I will say. He embarrassed me fundamentally. Because when I'm here and I'm saying, hey, let me look at all the AV guys, because you guys always ask, hey, who is reliable? Besides yourself, who would you say you could trust? And so I'm looking at guys that I think are all right. And then I say Paul the Tech Giant, and then you guys check him out. And naturally, I watch some of his videos too to check him out. And, seems all right to me. I didn't have any problems with the guy. And, so naturally, I just ask a question. Just a question, because I'm a TV reviewer, as you guys know, and I'm reviewing these TVs and I'm trying to gauge what they are and are not capable of off of various, even real world content pieces. And then here comes Paul the Tech Giant. He says, hey, the motion for this TV is good. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, how did you get there? Here we are having a live stream. We were answering questions. It was your time, you as the viewer, the one time in a week I can allot towards you guys to really give you that one-on-one attention. And then you have Paul the Tech Giant come on to our channel, and immediately I need everyone's attention. Who the hell do you think you are? You are nothing on this community. And let me be very clear, you are nothing on this community to be asking for people's attention when I'm speaking. I'm the it on this channel, okay? I'm the guy hosting the live stream, and you don't come onto my shit demanding anyone's attention on that arrogant bullshit. That's the first thing that really pissed me off. So, for those who are wondering why Quantum keeps deleting people's comments, it wasn't me, it was the moderators. And after the live stream, they got with me and showed me all of the things they held for review, because I always ask any one of my moderators, when you ban somebody, when you delete them, or you remove a comment, just let me know what was said so I'm not left out of the loop, right? Who do you think you are coming on to somebody's live stream when they're helping their viewers and you're talking about, I need everyone's attention, please? And then he goes on, right? He goes on, he gets muted by our moderators, and then he starts checking it with hello, and then a question mark to see if it still works. And then proceeds to say, oh, my wife has COVID, my wife is deadly sick or whatever, which is why I'm not answering questions and whatever. And then I've received abusive comments since that video you posted about me, and this is well out of order, and you've been told. And who the fuck do you think you're talking to, Paul? Let me make it very clear, very fucking clear. You don't come at me with any kind of attitude ever in your goddamn life until you get some knowledge in your brain, little boy. Because the way you just came at me on some hot shit, you aren't there yet, Paul. You aren't even a fraction of my knowledge yet. And you were talking big money shit on my channel. I was told you have an illness in the house and you don't want stress. You don't tell me shit, okay? I asked you a question, you didn't answer the question. You said you had findings, and I was cool, I was cordial. I even told people in that video, hey, listen, no ill will against Paul. I just, this don't make any fucking sense, right? I was really kind about the whole thing, I'd like to think, and how I presented the information. And then you want to come at me hot? It's just the weirdest fucking exchange I've ever seen, right? It's like, hey, how'd you get those findings? No, I don't want drama. No, Paul, how did you get those findings? My son has COVID. The findings, Paul, the findings. I have something to do. I mean, there's this thing over here. I mean, COVID. My kid has COVID. He's sick. My wife is sick now. My wife is sick. Oh, okay, fine. I guess you really don't want to answer the question. I'll leave it where it is. I mean, I think it's petty and it's bullshit, but okay, whatever, do your thing. Then comes a live stream. Is Quantum doing a live stream? I only have 5 minutes to spare, but here we go. I need everybody's attention. It's the most dramatic shit. You say you don't want drama. You say you're busy with all these sicknesses in your family, but you still magically found the time to come onto my live stream and stay past the 5 minutes, by the way, and still sit there, not answering the question. You could have easily have come onto the live stream and said, hey, by the way, Paul the Tech Giant here. Here's what I found. Here's what I did. Sorry for any misunderstandings or confusions. You could have cleared that shit up. You didn't. You chose to start more drama. The same thing you said you don't want stress and drama, but you created it yourself. And then and this notion that Quantum does it to you is the biggest bullshit because you did it to yourself, right? And then it's annoying because it's like, okay. And then we have the notion of him acting like everybody is sick in his family and he has more pressing matters to deal with. And I don't believe him for a fucking second. I don't care if they're actually sick. You're full of shit. Let me tell you why. When my wife was sick, when anybody in my family is sick, it is everything to me. I don't have time for YouTube. I post in the community tab. I'll be taking off a couple of days. I'll be taking off a couple of weeks sometimes. And I'm going to go deal with this family shit. And everybody says, no, you do you, man. We'll send prayers. And everybody's so kind about it, right? And I come back with my shit, my family shit squared away. Paul, in the middle, apparently, supposedly, of a family crisis where his wife is sick and his kid has COVID, makes the time to watch my live stream and then to comment repetitively and try to justify and damage control why he didn't answer my question as he proceeds not to answer the question more. He's only adding more to this, don't you think? And it's embarrassing for me, guys. I am so embarrassed right now because I vouched for this guy. My reputation, me. You know how hard it is to get an okay from Quantum TV? I gave you one of those, Paul, and you fucked it up, man. And it's like, all you had to do was answer the question. And even if you didn't want to answer the question, you could have just left things the way we left them, right? And you had to go do all that extra shit, and it's unnecessary. Now, as a viewer watching, what is the benefit for you watching this video? I mean, it just seems like YouTuber beef, right? Wrong. Because I put my reputation on the line giving you a recommendation. And now I am going to unfortunately have to correct that and admit I was wrong about Paul. I was wrong in thinking he was a reasonable person that could, I guess, be talked to and reasoned with. It just doesn't exist in the AV community outside of myself, apparently. Because every time I've tried to talk to these people, there are excuses as to why they don't have these answers. And I'm going to tell you why that is. Paul is what I said he was. What these guys are. I wasn't really outing Paul specifically, but other people in the industry. But he is a guy using YouTube as a side hustle to, again, bring in extra money for his family. He's just a dude playing on the family element. And there's so many channels like that are cancer like that. They go, I've got kids. I've got a family. Like me. Look at me. I'm just like you. Also, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but we're going to fake it until we make it. I'm sick of that. FOMO is exactly like that. Be the Installer is exactly like that. None of these guys have any real know-how with these TVs. And for me, it comes to the part where it's hard because it's like when I get asked questions and people say, hey, who is this guy that you say I can trust outside of you so I can, because nobody's just going to watch me. I don't intend for that to ever be the purpose. I want you to go do your research. I want you to fact check my information. I want you to go find from other sources information and put it together so you have a complete picture of everything. But when everybody is literally just a guy with no experience, just giving you their opinion on a product they like, you could have done the same thing. I swear to God, pick up your cell phone, record your TV you just bought, and just give an opinion. There is no difference between what Paul the Tech Giant is doing, Stop the FOMO, and Be the Installer is doing versus you doing that yourself. For that, go talk to any Best Buy or any neighbor. You don't need these people. They're useless sources of information because they don't have the information. They don't have the technical background. And it's annoying for me to have to come out here and put them all on blast like that because they don't have the sense enough to at least go get that shit before they start talking to mass bodies of people. Going forward, I'm not going to recommend anybody probably ever again because this has been an eye-opening experience. It's been, very humiliating, very demoralizing. Really, it's sad. I want to find a peer that's my equal in some aspect. I do. I want to find somebody I can talk to about these things and we can exchange ideas. We may not always agree. We could disagree on some things and we can change the industry through, correct findings and correct readings of, scientific data and how things change and what we can do to make things better. And it's the process of growth and creativity that is lacking in this community because everybody is just a guy with a family somewhere on a side hustle talking about, hey, I really could use the extra $500 a month or whatever it is these guys are making. It's annoying. I don't understand it. I genuinely am at a loss for words as far as how I can communicate to you guys that the AV community is trash. You have one of two things, I swear to God, outside of me. Corporate interest, shill, influencer type of guy that will say anything to collect his money at your expense, or you literally have just the everyday family guy picking up his camera and saying, look at this great product without any real know-how behind that. Listen, I'm all for consumer reviews. Consumers leave reviews all the time on Amazon without any technical experience. That's not what we're talking about. But I think there should be some level of understanding about what you're doing. Again, when you step to the larger stages, right? Now, for me, I think as far as this whole Paul the Tech Giant situation goes, I think there was a better way of handling it. Like somebody else was saying in the live stream, I didn't really understand at the time because I'm just reading your questions. But I agree, there should have been a level of decorum to it. I don't think that was a time and place to try to like spam bot my my live stream with all the questions we were getting from actual people looking for help. Paul took that away from you, and I think that's bullshit. Because, nowhere on that live stream, by the way, did he drop a comment trying to clarify anything or reach out. There was no email sent to private message or DM or anything. He just wanted to be an asshole and come out on the live stream and attack the live stream with his opinions and get his little word in and get his little take and still not answer the question that was a very simple one. All of this life story, like imagine, I'm gonna end the video like this. Imagine you get asked a very simple question about your job. And somebody asks, how do you do this? Or how did you figure this out on the job? And then you proceed to give them your life story and your background and all this other shit that's going on personally in your life. Let me guess, your dog's going to die next and your wife's going to take the pickup truck. I'm in the South. I've heard these songs before, right? And I'm not sitting here buying any of this shit, dude. You're making excuses. You're dodging the question because you're caught. You're caught and you're exposed in front of a mass audience of over 61,000 people of being exactly what you are. Just an everyday guy without any experience talking about TVs and hoping that enough people bite onto your positivity and your happy vibes to be able to continue to push this shit outward and to continue to make you money. Hey, if that's how you want to do it, do it. I mean, get your sponsors, be a shill, do whatever you want to do with Box.uk or whatever. But at the end of the day, I asked you a question. You still haven't answered, which is fine. I'm not God. You don't owe me anything. But I thought as colleagues and as somebody who's given you multiple shout outs that it maybe would have been the right thing to do to try to at least help your, what I thought at the time, colleague understand how you got there. That's all I was after. And again, if you guys are attacking Paul since he claims that he's getting abusive comments, please don't attack him. I'm not here promoting a mob or inciting violence. I just wanted to know the question. But given that Paul took my question as an assault, I think that this is more a case of him being caught and people are asking him the same question and him not really being willing to answer it because he's implying that one of two things. Either his response will stir up controversy or something to the effect that I'm the drama for ever asking a question that was so simple. Either way, it's trash. I'm done with the situation. I'm done with Paul the Tech Giant. He goes in the garbage bin with the rest of them, and we're going to move on with our lives. That being said, thanks so much for watching the #1 Brandon Honesty. I hope this kind of wraps this all up and gives you the full picture. And again, I do apologize for me misspeaking on Paul the Tech Giant and telling you he was ever trustworthy, reputable, or giving him any kind of platform he didn't deserve here with you guys who trust honesty above all else. Again, till the next video, I'll see you guys later.